Airports can feel like a game of gotcha. You think you've packed perfectly, and then bam! TSA pulls your bag aside. And here's the shocking part. It's not just the obvious things like guns or explosives. Every single day, officers find items passengers either forgot about or assumed were harmless. Just recently, Newark Airport made TSA's top 10 list of most unusual finds. One traveler had parts of a disassembled handgun hidden inside a Lego box. In this video, we're counting down 10 dangerous items TSA finds in carry-on bags every single day. Stick around because number one will surprise you the most. It's something people carry without even realizing it's a red flag. Plus, I'll also share a tip to double-check your bag at home so you don't lose valuables at the airport. And hey, if you want to avoid these travel traps on your next trip, hit subscribe now so you don't miss out on essential travel safety tips. Without wasting your time, let's get straight into it. 10. Razor blades and box cutters. Razor blades and box cutters might look small and harmless, but to TSA, they are one of the biggest red flags. These tools are completely banned from carry-on bags, yet officers find them every single day. Why? Because people often forget they left one in a pencil case, a toolkit, or even tucked into a shaving kit. Just recently, the TSA reminded travelers that loose razor blades and straight razors must go in checked bags, not carry-ons, to prevent holdups at the checkpoint. Imagine the awkward moment when your bag goes through the scanner and the officer pulls out a box cutter. Suddenly, you look less like a traveler and more like you're ready to fix the airplane seats. And no, before you ask, you cannot argue that you only needed to open a stubborn snack bag mid-flight. The rules are very clear. Razor blades and box cutters belong only in checked luggage. If you need them at your destination, pack them safely there. Otherwise, you'll watch them get tossed into the confiscation bin faster than you can say, ouch. It's better to double-check your carry-on before you leave home than to risk the embarrassment of explaining why you're carrying sharp blades to the gate. But blades aren't the only sharp surprise on this list. 9. Meat cleavers. Believe it or not, people really do try to carry meat cleavers onto planes. Sometimes it's by mistake. They packed it with kitchen stuff in a rush, or sometimes they thought, hey, I might need this for cooking later. But TSA doesn't buy it for a second. A giant blade in the cabin? Absolutely not. One officer even joked, nobody needs to chop steak at 30,000 feet. And it's not just a rare case, news outlets have reported it too. In fact, earlier this year, TSA officers at Chicago O'Hare confiscated a meat cleaver and even a buzzsaw blade from someone's carry-on bag. It's funny when you think about it, but the truth is, these heavy, sharp tools are dangerous if carried on board. Security finds them more often than you'd imagine, tucked into carry-ons next to snacks or toiletries, as if they're just another kitchen spoon. The rule is simple. If it looks like it belongs in a butcher shop, it does not belong in your carry-on. So if you really need to bring your cleaver for a family cookout or holiday dinner, pack it in your checked luggage, safely wrapped so no one gets hurt. Otherwise, you'll lose it at the checkpoint and be left explaining why you were traveling with a weapon-sized kitchen tool in the first place. And if you think that's wild, wait till you hear about the next group. 8. Guns and gun parts. Yes, you heard that right. TSA officers really do find firearms and even gun parts like magazines, triggers, and barrels in carry-on bags almost every single day. Sometimes travelers claim they forgot. A loaded gun was in their backpack or purse, but forgetting something that serious is not an excuse. TSA takes this extremely seriously, and the rules are crystal clear. Firearms must always go in checked luggage, completely unloaded, locked inside a hard-sided case, and declared at the airline counter. If you don't follow that process, you risk having the weapon seized, paying a large fine, or even being arrested on the spot. You'd be shocked at how many people try this every week, enough to keep TSA agents on constant alert. The scary part is, even a single mistake could ruin not just your trip, but your record too. So if you own a firearm, take the time to double-check your bags before heading to the airport. A vacation should begin with a smile, not with handcuffs. Trust me, your family will thank you for avoiding that nightmare. And it's not just real guns. Fake ones can get you into big trouble too. 7. Realistic replicas. Think toy guns, BB guns, airsoft pistols, or even cigarette lighters shaped like handguns. At first glance, these items might look harmless, but if they resemble real weapons in size and shape, TSA treats them exactly like the real deal. Why? Because imagine the chaos if someone pulled out a fake gun in the middle of a flight. Nobody would pause to check if it was plastic. They'd panic instantly. That kind of situation puts passengers, crew, and security at huge risk. Every year, travelers get surprised when their child's toy gun or even a movie prop gets confiscated right at the checkpoint. Parents especially often argue that it's just a toy. But TSA's rule is simple. If it looks like a weapon, it's not allowed in carry-on bags, period. The safest choice is to place realistic replicas in your checked luggage where they can't cause problems. Otherwise, those items will end up in the airport trash, and your child might be left crying over a missing toy. It might feel harsh, but the rule exists to keep flights safe. And speaking of weapons, here's a sharp one that really shocks many travelers. 6. Throwing stars and martial arts gear. It sounds like something from a kung fu movie, but TSA actually finds ninja stars, nunchucks, and other martial arts gear in carry-on bags all the time. Some travelers may be martial artists heading to a competition, while others simply forget their dojo gear was stuffed inside a backpack. Either way, these items are banned in carry-ons with no exceptions. Just imagine a passenger pulling out a shiny throwing star at 30,000 feet. It would cause panic in seconds. TSA officers are trained to treat anything sharp or weapon-like very seriously, even if it's just part of a hobby or collection. The good news, martial arts gear can still travel with you if it's packed safely in checked luggage. So if you're a black belt flying to an event, double-check your bags before heading to the airport. Leaving your gear in the wrong place will only end with security officers confiscating it. TSA has seen it all before, and they don't find it funny. Better to keep your equipment safe in checked luggage than to lose it forever at the checkpoint. But not all dangerous surprises come from martial arts. Some are hiding in your garage toolbox. 5. Power tools. Now here's one that might make you laugh. Yes, people actually try to bring drills, saws, wrenches, and even axes through TSA checkpoints. Maybe they're contractors rushing to a work site, or maybe they just forgot the tools were in their bag. Either way, the rule is simple. No power tools in your carry-on, period. Imagine the chaos if someone pulled out a power drill mid-flight and started revving it in the aisle. Not only would it scare every passenger on board, but it could also do real damage in the wrong hands. Even small tools like long screwdrivers or pliers can get flagged if they're sharp or heavy enough. TSA agents see these items every day, and once spotted, they don't hesitate to take them away. If you really need to travel with tools, the only safe option is to put them in checked luggage. Airlines even recommend securing sharp or heavy gear properly so it doesn't move around during transport. Forgetting this rule means you'll be saying goodbye to expensive equipment at the checkpoint, then shopping for replacements when you land. And if you thought tools were surprising, wait until you hear what sports fans often forget. 4. Baseball bats and golf clubs. Sports gear might sound harmless, but for TSA, it's another red flag. Baseball bats, golf clubs, hockey sticks. If it's long and solid, it's banned from carry-on bags. And honestly, it makes sense. Picture boarding your flight and seeing someone practice their golf swing in the aisle or swinging a bat near the overhead bins. Passengers would be ducking, flight attendants would panic, and the captain might turn the plane around. TSA treats any large sporting item as a potential weapon, no matter how innocent your intentions may be. Many travelers forget this rule when heading to tournaments or vacations, only to lose their gear at security. Luckily, airlines do allow you to bring bats and clubs as checked luggage, and some even sell special travel cases just for sports equipment. So, if you can't part with your lucky bat or favorite driver, pack it carefully and check it in. That way, your gear makes it safely to your destination, and you avoid an expensive loss. TSA isn't trying to ruin your game, they're just keeping flights safe for everyone. But it's not only sports gear that gets taken away. Everyday food items can cause trouble too. Quick pause, if you're finding this helpful, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I share simple travel tips and airport secrets every week. Now back to the list. 3. Large jars of food, like salsa or jam. This one catches travelers by surprise all the time. You'd think a jar of grandma's strawberry jam or a container of homemade salsa would be harmless, but not for TSA. Anything that can be poured, spread, or scooped is treated as a liquid or gel, and that means it falls under the strict 3.4-ounce rule. Salsa, soup, maple syrup, honey, pasta sauce. If it's larger than a tiny container, it's not going past the checkpoint. Officers don't care if it's an expensive gift from abroad or something you made with love at home. Every day, trash bins at airports fill up with pricey jars of jam, bottles of maple syrup, and sauces that never make it onto the plane. It's heartbreaking to see someone lose a $50 jar of specialty honey in seconds. If you really want to keep your goodies, pack them in your checked luggage. Otherwise, be prepared to wave goodbye to your breakfast spread at security. Imagine carrying that special jar through duty-free, only to have it thrown out without a second thought. Sad, but true. But believe it or not, food isn't the only shocking item that gets taken every day. 2. Pepper spray and self-defense items. Now this one really surprises travelers. Many people carry pepper spray, stun guns, or small self-defense tools to feel safe while traveling. But here's the truth. TSA doesn't allow any of it in your carry-on, not even the tiny sprays that fit on a keychain. Officers see these items every single day, and they all end up confiscated. Think about it for a moment. Using pepper spray inside a pressurized airplane cabin would cause absolute chaos. Imagine dozens of passengers coughing and panicking at 30,000 feet. No airline can take that risk. That's exactly why the rule exists. If you absolutely must travel with pepper spray, it can sometimes go in checked luggage. But even then, airlines have very strict limits on size and ingredients. Most people don't realize that, so they show up at security and lose it instantly. The smart move is to leave it at home, or carefully research your airline's checked bag rules before packing it. Otherwise, you'll be stuck at the checkpoint saying goodbye to your self-defense spray. And now, let's talk about the number one item TSA confiscates more than anything else. 1. Pocket knives. Believe it or not, pocket knives are the number one item TSA takes away from travelers every single day. They're small, they're handy, and they're so common that people forget they even have them. Many travelers keep them on keychains, in purses, or stuffed inside backpacks without realizing. But here's the problem. TSA sees them instantly, and once it's spotted, it's gone. No second chances. Every day, thousands of knives of all shapes and sizes end up in TSA bins. Some are cheap little tools, while others are expensive collectibles. But the rule is the same. Even though most people think of pocket knives as useful gadgets for opening packages or cutting fruit, airport security considers them potential weapons. And because safety comes first, there's no bending the rule. I've even seen passengers beg to keep their favorite knife, but officers can't allow it. So before you head to the airport, check your bags, your pockets, even your keychain. The best advice is simple: pack it in checked luggage or leave it at home. That way, you'll avoid the stress, the embarrassment, and the disappointment of losing something important. And that's why knives top the list of TSA's most common finds. Don't forget to subscribe for more airport secrets. Click on one of these videos, and I'll see you in a moment.